Oh, hello there. Hey. Hello. Are you also wondering why the heck we need them? Lighthouses. Why the hell are Dara and his workers pushing so hard to build the second one? Is one not enough? Is it because one is less than two and less is worse? I mean, two lighthouses next to each other are almost the same as one, and ships don't even sail this way anymore. Ah, symbolism. Yeah, maybe, whatever that is. Aye, why would they? The waters are treacherous, so no ships. Storms and the weirdness are a deadly combination. Besides, who'd have the time to build or repair them? There are enough problems on the island. We don't need more. Well, not much going on here, as you can see. Things have been a bit different lately, due to the refugees. One was even hanged for theft. But I can't say much more as I wasn't there. If you're interested in the horns, you should visit our museum. You'll learn more about that fella, Swal, or whatever his name is. What do I think? As long as they follow the rules, they can stay. And if they don't, then they can hang. That's all. Folks are saying that there's some other group, probably more dangerous, not so far from here. If they come closer, well, that wouldn't be too good. Aye, it's boring, but at least you don't have to pay to enter. But almost nobody goes there anyway. You can stay here and serve. Sit in the tavern, drink and eat something. If you're looking for an adventure, you'll have to go elsewhere. There's always something happening out in the world. But you know what? Here in the south, everything happens late. It's a big world out there, and a small one right here. From a financial standpoint, it makes absolutely no sense.
Hey, You're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have trouble finding him. I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Come to me afterwards.
Ah, he used to serve too. In fact, he was the builder before me. Now he's just an old fart angry at the world.
But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence the medicine.
If Haber doesn't know, then I don't either. So we keep trying. Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass, and I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used it on? That's right, bringing medicine to my father. When that Egypt gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an orgy. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him. Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the Horns. Serves me right for wanting to find him, stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would entail. I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as anything else. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once. But, nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess. Well, no, of course not. We're not priestesses of the All-Mother. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight left in him to be a keeper. Old enough to hold a sword, young enough to not break under its weight. We all got different roles around the keep, sure. But at the core, we're warriors. Don't forget that. If I had a gold coin for every time someone asked me that, I could fund the damn thing myself. Look, it's Camelot's orders. I get paid to follow them, not to question them. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not about to stop them. Keep your head down.
Mercy, not another one. If I let you pass, will you promise not to make any trouble? That's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old farts. That's practically early retirement, they said. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling apart, it's a refugee running around biting people. Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit sometimes, but gods. Now both of them are sick. And Haber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only reason that refugee isn't dead. Yet. So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day and everyone's pissed. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in the middle of it all. No need to tell me that. But I can't just go back to patrolling the walls. I'd be a laughingstock. I'd rather sit here and hope everything works itself out. I mean, everyone's gotta die someday, right? So whether it's me or them, at least my problems will be over. No, not really, fortunately. The deck? Nah, just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. But I've got no way to fix it. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of? You do that? That would be a huge relief. Well, maybe not huge. There are bigger problems, but it'd be a start. Truth be told, I don't know why they want it so badly. It's for boats. No one here even uses boats. But, well, you know how it is with old folks. Once they get fixated on something, there's no point in arguing. I'd pay if I could, but this was supposed to be my job. The budget's long gone. But if you're interested, I could teach you a thing or two about home decor. Not exactly standard keeper knowledge, but, well, we all have our secrets. Surprised? Can't blame you. This might sound odd coming from someone stationed at a glorified fish bucket, but I've got a thing for furniture. The only thing more mismatched than the barracks around here is my career choice. But, yeah, I like imagining places where things fit. Where chairs don't wobble, and tables don't look like someone hacked them together with a dull axe, and beds. Well, beds don't feel like they're plotting your murder while you sleep. Not exactly a secret I broadcast. Most folks see me as Tiernan the Grumbler. But, hey, we've all got something that keeps us sane, right? Mine just happens to be daydreaming about nicer chairs. Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name's Lady Elisa. Something. I don't remember. She came here with her husband. Poor man. I never heard him get a word in. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. But if I had a wife like her, I'd just end up being a keeper all over again. See you around.
Bloody hell, look at this! The old place is in a shambles. Bunch of decrepit old coots. They do nothing but shuffle around, stare at walls, and sleep under leaking roofs. Can't even hammer a nail properly. I'm telling you, if I was still working here, this place wouldn't be falling apart. But I'm not. Oh, shite. I can't even stand to look at it, let alone live here. And who are you? What you want? You another one of Durar's freeloaders? I bloody knew it. Retirement my arse. It's shit. Never a moment of peace. At least when I was still working, there was always something to do. Now, so, what you want? One day, my boy got it into his stupid head that old Gaban is ill. Bullshit! They're all telling me I should do something about it, or else I'm done for. I'll be dead as a doornail in no time. Ha! Like hell I will. I'm still here, ain't I? I've served my time. I've lived me life. And now you can all kiss my arse. So there. Peace and quiet. Good one. I'll only have my peace and quiet when I'm final. At least when I'm with Finley, I don't need to listen to his nagging. Listen, they wanted Heber, that healer from the keep, to come here. He did. They wanted him to look me over. He did. Then he just threw up his hands, mumbled something to himself, and that was it. Hell, I should have been an healer. Wouldn't mind going around being a pain in everyone's arse for a living. These herbs. No idea what they're for. Heber said he doesn't know what's wrong with me, so there's no illness. I'm fit as a fiddle. Good thing that at least the one guy who hangs around, Finley's the name, doesn't nag me all the time. Yeah, right. He'd better focus on his job. Getting a bit too interested, aren't you? Bring a drink over, and I might share. So, what was your question? Hold on. Finley is not my caregiver. He's my helper at most. Hey, first of all, I'm not a cripple who needs a decrepit dimwit running round after me. Secondly, do you know the problem with having a helper who's mute? He doesn't bloody talk. I mean, it's not all bad. At least I don't have to listen to even more bullshit. He puffs up like a marshmallow every time he tries to say something. But I don't understand shit. Curious, aren't you? Fetch me a drink and we'll see about a chat. So, what was your question? That's what he says anyway. But yeah, he's my blood. Eager like me, and look at that bulbous nose. Won't disown what's clearly mine. But I ain't gonna talk with a stranger. It's like half the blighters here don't have working peckers, or they've never even touched a woman. Getting a bit curious, I see. So, what was your question? You see, back in the day, being a keeper was a serious business. Now, don't even get me started. You used to come here with a mission, not to run away from your bloody mother. Nowadays, lads get brought here by their own kin when they've had enough of them, or they think the Orns can hide them from the law. No, back in my day there was none of this scum. I came here to serve. My girl cried when I left her, but I've always known this is where I wanted to be. How was I supposed to know she had a bloody bun in the oven? By the time the wean was born, I was already planning the lighthouse's construction. Heck knows what he came here for. That's not my problem anymore, and I don't stick my nose in anyone else's business. What's with all the questions? Get me... I'm starting to like you, stranger. And trust me, it's been a long time since I liked... well, anybody. I liked me brothers in arms back in my glory days. Good lads, every damn one of them. Tough as nails, loyal to a fault. The kind of men you'd want beside you in the darkest holes of Avalon. But they're gone now, all of them. The old captain got it in his head to send us down to rediscover some mouldy tunnels under the keep. Damn fool mission that was. We went in together, but I was the only one to come back out. I can still see all their faces when I close my eyes. A hard loss it was, but I'm still here. Though some days I wonder why. Why the sudden interest? Those tunnels, right. Well, me and the lads went down there to check if we could repurpose them under the Orns. Damn fool mission that was. But here wasn't just some empty caves. There were monsters, straight out of Age of Legends. Sick stuff. Stuff that get under your skin. Looked like... Ah, hell. Memory's all twisted up now. Like a bloody nightmare mixed with shadows that don't belong. Want to know more? Speak with Fergus. He's in charge of this shit show now. Now, I propose a toast to those lost souls. This one's on me. Feast, you say? Problem is, sometimes I think they never died. They haunt me in my dreams, you know? Bloody bastards. I swear I wanted to go back and retrieve their bodies. Our late captain, make Grindelows piss on his grave, forbade me from going back. But when I drink, I usually pass out, and then I don't remember my dreams. So, I drink. Ah, my brothers deserved better.
Excuse me, could you get me a clean glass? And I mean clean, not just wiped 3 times with a dirty rag. Well, I'm sorry if you felt offended. I won't bother you anymore. Well...
Who are you? Another refugee? This place is already crawling with your lot. It's like a Camelosian privy after a feast. In my day, you only saw old familiar faces round here. And maybe we didn't all love each other, but a local is a local. It was easier to share with others, even when you didn't have much. That's so. Fine. Whatever you say. But yeah, I could see that you don't really look like one of them. Just pass them through then. Shame it had to be now. Not so long ago, we'd have sat down and had a drink with the rest of the lads. Now I come here alone. You asking me? They came here and made themselves at home. I ain't talking to any of them. Orderly. No damn rabble begging at the gates and eating us at a house and home. Yeah, back then, sure. Civilians came and went. But housing them, feeding them? We had a rule. No freeloading. But I guess that went out the window, along with our pride. It used to mean something to be a keeper. You could come in off the streets and keepers would make a man out of you. Now, bunch of spoiled lordlings sold off to Brandon by their daddies for a bag of gold. Treated like they're made of glass. Soft, weak, the lot of them. What's there to be proud of? You watch your damn mouth. We did everything we could. I've said it before. We need a whole damn army to keep this region in check. And besides, how do you know these leeches are even telling the truth? Every village wiped out. Just like that? Give me a break. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Do you see anything interesting around here? There's this tavern, and plenty of fish in the sea. Decent place to retire, but not much else. Well, if you're looking to sightsee, try the sunken village. Just don't let the locals tear you to shreds. I don't know. But you could put something on the table, and then maybe we can talk. Thank you. That's better. We used to come here, the three of us. Me, Berg, and Fedley. But lately, something's gotten into Berg, and it all kinda fell apart. Hell knows what happened. One day he just stopped talking to us. We went to his house to get him, but he only cursed a blue streak at us. Say, mate, do you feel like talking to an old obla? I feel bad for him, but I've got no more patience. And Finley? Let's just say Finley's no good at this stuff. Now you're talking. Ever since he got so maudlin, Berg usually sits alone by the sea. Let me know what's wrong with him.
Beer from Kunacht, wine from Farshire, moonshine, only local, the best there is. And fish, lots and lots of fish. What's your poison? You mean the old pier? Well, first of all, it's not that old. Brennan was already the captain when it was built. Why is it called that? Don't know. Probably because of all those old folks around. A lot has been happening here lately. Plenty of new faces. I definitely can't complain. I'm finally running a proper tavern. People come and go and the regulars drink as usual, as it should be. Daddy will be proud. Hey, not here, obviously. You won't see your old man here unless your name's Dara. Mine sent me here because he hoped I'd make something out of my life. He never wanted me to pour a beer and look at the same tired mugs day in, day out, but as it turns out, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I got mauled by a werebeast during a hunt, and after that, the captain decided I wasn't any good for active service, so he sent me here. I was bored out of my mind, and since there wasn't one here, I decided to start a tavern. At least I'm not as bored anymore. No, I don't recall anything like that. No, listen. I don't know what's going on, but I doubt any of the keepers had anything important on them. Half of them couldn't tell the quartermaster's seal from a pile of horse dung someone stepped on. But that means... no. Impossible. What if... Holy moonshine. I remember. Sigibald. It was Sigibald who left those documents behind. I've no idea how you found out about it. Siji, he's dead. Taken by a fever. Aye, of course I have. I didn't just throw them in some cabinet. I was afraid they'd fall into the wrong hands. He was a good man. I wouldn't get rid of my only memento of him. Here, after what you said, I assume you'll make good use of them. Even though I'm still not sure what to think about it. Things are getting weirder and weirder in our beloved Avalon. Well, he died like he lived, with a tankard in his hand. The boys always said Siji was a friend worth 5 others. And he was. He was a prankster like no other. Once, he slipped a rotten egg into the quartermaster's dinner. Never a dull moment with him, that's for sure. No problem. Listen, if by some miracle you really talked with Sigibald, please, give him my warm regards. I don't understand anything anymore.
Hello, child. You look competent enough. I can see that you're not of noble blood. Oh, no need to tell me that. I've tutored the children of aristocrats from all over Avalon. Fortunately for you, my opinion of them is not particularly high. Oh, and you don't look like one of the locals. Are you a visitor? Or an adventurer? You can talk. Now, I'm sure we'll get along. My name is Lady Elaine. I oversee the Farshire Library, the greatest collection of books in this part of Avalon. By the All-Mother, don't tell me you don't know what Farshire is. The largest duchy in the middle of the island, with the wise Lady Kincaid in power, who has a hold over the entire territory. Nothing? Oh, really? Farshire is one of the first duchies on Avalon. It is a beautiful land with lush fields, forests rich in game, and most importantly, the Wordstone mines in the west, the primary source of our wealth. Well, at least that's how I remember it. Now it's a mere shadow of its former glory. Oh, it's a rare and coveted material, necessary to create the sturdiest steel in the world. As you can imagine, dear, it used to be Farshire's greatest treasure, Until the primordial fog took our minds. I know, child. I know. Everyone was surprised. Camelot turned up their noses at this for years. But after Lord Kincaid died and Aidan, Lady Kincaid's son, disappeared, the nobles of Farshire decided she could stay on the throne. Even if Aidan had been alive, she would still be ruling as a regent until he came of age. But between you and me, he wasn't a very bright boy. So she would have been ruling until her death anyway. Oh, we're lucky to have her. Difficult times require determined leaders. Worse than ever. Oh, the wordness is thickening, and the roads are getting dangerous and unpredictable. That's why I'm here, wandering Avalon looking for solutions. If I don't do this, who will, hmm? Oh, do you mean a family? Oh, I've never had time for such trifles. No suitor was ever more interesting than a good book, nor did any of them smell better either. And I've raised enough of other people's children to never wish for my own. Oh, surprising. I'm looking for someone who will help me find a certain artifact. So, are you interested, child? I came to the Horns of the South because I found a fascinating book. It referred to a certain object, a figure most likely, which has the ability to dispel the wordness like a menhir can. Apparently, it can be found on the ship called Andraste, which sank over 100 years ago somewhere in this area. However, when I asked those nincompoops about it, they just laughed at me. They said that the Andraste wasn't carrying anything of value, and even if it was, they wouldn't freeze their butts off in those chilly waters. The Last Voyage of the Andraste by Elvis the Lightkeeper. He was one of the more notable keepers. In his waning years, he became an adjutant to Captain Lex. But it's best if you read it yourself. You can read, can't you? But just be very careful. This is a very rare publication. Read it very carefully, and after you're done, come to me, and I'll tell you more. A deal? Ah, and they say young people don't want to learn anything. Come on, chop, 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 get to reading. you read The Last Voyage of the Andraste? Oh, splendid, splendid. Oh, it's an excellent book, don't you think? Now, let's test your reading comprehension. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horns of the South, they found something that they took with them on the ship. Do you remember what that was, child? That's right. This is the artifact I'm looking for. One that might be vital to repelling the wordness. According to Elvis's description, the figure is smaller than a menhir, and light enough that they were able to carry it to the ship without any trouble. Were it small, it would probably have been placed in Captain Lex's quarters instead of in the hold. I've estimated it should be about 1 meter tall. Good. Next question. What was the Andraste's destination? Correct. Be very careful with what I'm about to tell you. But some believe that the Red Priests are dedicated to studying the wordness instead of the Red Death. Captain Lex must have thought they'd pay him generously for a Four-Dweller artifact. Last question. What sank the Andraste? Yes, you did well, child. I can see that you were paying attention. According to Elvis, the Andraste was sunk by the legendary terror from the deep. But if you want to know more, ask your keeper friends. They should be much better informed. Now, all you need to do is find the wreck of the Andraste and retrieve the mysterious figure. Oh, if only I knew. It must have happened somewhere on the way between the Horns of the South and the Island Asylum. Oh, but where exactly? Fortunately, I know something that could help us. In the Horns of the South Museum, there are some extremely interesting books and documents lying around and collecting dust. Can you imagine having such treasures at hand and choosing to completely ignore them? Oh, barbarians. Among them, you'll find the Andraste's logbook, which was saved by Elvis. I've read it, of course, but I know nothing about sailing. I'm sure such a competent child as yourself will handle it much better. Go to the Horns of the South Museum, read the logbook, and then tell me whether you managed to locate the wreck of the Andraste.
Well, I'm sorry.
You remember Sewell Firstfoot's tomb? Used to be a popular pilgrimage spot, but ever since the flooding, nobody's been out there.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. The whole place is forgotten, like it never even mattered. Pilgrims stopped coming after the water rose.
You've heard the rumours, right? Some say the Druids caused the flooding. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them.
I don't know. Druids? Why'd they bother flooding a whole village? What's in it for them?
Maybe they wanted to keep folks away from something. Or they weren't too fond of Sewell getting all that attention. Druids are a strange lot.
Strange, sure, but flooding a village to stop pilgrims sounds a bit far-fetched to me. Could have been something else entirely.
Doesn't matter much now. The tomb, the village, it's all gone. Nothing but water and memories left.
Aye, a place lost to the depths, and with it, a piece of our history. Can't you take a hint? We're busy here.
Did you hear about the captain's lockdown? Looks like the lads aren't too happy about it.
Yeah, but you know Fergus. He's got a stick up his ass. Only knows how to follow orders like a good little soldier. He's so uptight, he probably agrees with the captain. thinks it's all necessary precautions and the like.
Now, speaking of precautions, what's all this talk I'm hearing about the weirdness creeping in? People are getting jumpy.
Ah, the weirdness. Got folks scared, all right. Used to be old stories to spook the young ones, but now, even the tougher lads are starting to believe there's more to it.
If the weirdness thing's real, we've got bigger problems than a lockdown.
Aye, and Fergus better pull that stick out of his ass and start focusing on the real threats, or we're all done for.
You see no...
Oi, Noel, what if I pulled Excalibur from that stone, but it broke, but only at the tip? Would I still get to be king, or not?
You're so daft, Randall. Some magical lass living in a lake gave the king the sword when he broke his own bashing forearm skulls.
So, the one in the stone, what's that called? It's not Excalibur, is it?
Nah, the one in the stone was called, don't know. Sword in the stone, I guess.
Sod it, whatever. So, if I pulled the sword in the stone from the, stone, and it broke, but only a little, would I still get to be king?
What? No, you'd have to pull out all of it. Only the one who pulls out the sword gets to be king, yeah? Not the one who pulls out a bit of the sword.
Wait, but if you have a sword and it breaks, do you tell everyone that you have a sword or that you have a piece of the sword? Besides, you can always take it to the smith and he can fix a new tip.
But if he fixes a new tip, it won't be the same sword.
Are you off your knocker? How's it not the same sword? So, what is it now? A ploughshare?
A shit share.
Listen, just listen to me. You've got it all wrong. You've got a sword, right? And then the tip breaks off, so you attach a new one, right? But then, let's just say it breaks again.
That's one shitty sword you have there.
Now, listen to me. Now, damn it. It breaks off, so you fix it with a new piece again. And then it happens again, and again, and again. Until you finally get yourself a whole new blade from the smith. So get this, if the whole blade was replaced, is it still the same sword?
Well, no, it isn't.
There you have it. You just need to be, what's the word? Rational.
Fine, fine. Now let's have a drink. My throat's drier than a priestess purse.
See, now you sound rational.
Forward, and mind your step. Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope. Huh, that's surprising. But good. Very good. He's been a drunk for as long as I can remember. Keeps saying he'll stop, but he never does. At least not for long.
The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business.
And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns.
And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he? If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain.
However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to.
Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home.
We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it.
Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand.
There is a local legend about a dark druid named Slaughter? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were unnatural.
It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand.
The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're, well, sure, let's go with that. Good. Try not to get yourself killed, and get rid of whatever's been causing the problem. Yes? Why not?
Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? So what? And have you helped any of my people? Or are you just here to wave that pin in my face again? First, show me you care, and then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every random stray wasting his time. Not now, when the outcome of the war with its tribes is so precarious. I trust we understand each other? Say something like that again, and you can forget about ever meeting the captain. I'm serious. Don't test my patience. No, you can't. I don't take bribes, but if you're eager to throw your gold around, my keepers are running a charity for our veterans. That way, your coin pouch won't weigh you down, and you'll be supporting a worthy cause. Thank you kindly. The veterans will appreciate it. You won't find the captain at the Horns of the South. He ordered us to lock down the keep, and then he disappeared. I have my suspicions about where he might be, but I can't say for sure. And frankly, I hope I'm wrong. I don't like your tone, my friend. But all right. I suspect he's at the All-Mother's temple. But I will warn you. If he's not dead already, I'm pretty sure you'll be if you decide to go there. That's where the Dolriada tribes are holed up, and they're not known for their kindness. And if you do find the captain, tell him to return to the Horns of the South as soon as possible. Galahad the Pure is already on his way, and he won't be pleased to find a bunch of keepers hiding behind the walls without their commander. We'll all face consequences if that happens. Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag? Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take that at face value. Brother Riagan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I honestly think your sense of humor is the worst, but I have to respect your unwillingness to share your story. Still, you have to understand, now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on you. No risks can be taken when it comes to the Red Death. That's one of our tags. Every soldier gets one when they pledge their loyalty. I just hope the body you took it from was already cold, because killing a keeper would land you in some serious trouble. You know, here's what I'm thinking. If you stumble over any of our fallen keepers out there, bring me their tags. Sure, they all swore to stay here until the bitter end, but they have families who deserve to know what became of them. It's part of my duty, but since I can't send any more beyond these walls, maybe you could lend a hand. I'll pay you for every tag you bring back. You know where to find me if you come across any more. Captain Hagen. Well, he was a man driven by pride and a certain disregard for caution. He sent men to explore those old tunnels beneath the keep. Somehow, he got it into his head that there was something valuable down in those tunnels. Treasures, relics, who knows what else. But the truth is, we know what was there. In the Age of Legends, it was just a hospital. There was some kind of outbreak or plague, and the place was sealed off. Nothing left to find, or so the records say. Yes, it weighs on me more than I'd care to admit. If I could, I'd see them laid to rest. But no captains ever bothered. It seems they thought it was a fool's errand. Maybe not worth the risk. If you're mad enough to try, then by all means go ahead. Just don't expect any keeper to follow you. I really don't have men to spare. But maybe it's time to make it right. So, thank you, I suppose. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life. Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them. You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That enough for you? That's between her and the captain. Were it up to me, she'd be long gone. Her presence here distracts my men. There are a few retired keepers living there. They might tell you about the good old days if you ask them nicely. There are also some refugees from north of the island, since we had nowhere else to put them. I don't really know much about what's going on in that place. I just make sure they have everything they need, more or less. You can always go see for yourself. People fleeing from bandits, from the weirdness, you name it. I wasn't exaggerating when I said we were the last beacon of hope this far south. For these people, we are. Don't know how many more we can take, but that's a problem for another time. He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job, and no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult. It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it. What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know. Ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish. Excalibur. You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it. Yes? Did you find out what's been happening out there? Why not? If you need...
nice to have a break.
Are you here to keep me company or put me out of my misery? Just kidding. Love the view, but this weather is killing me. You don't say. I didn't choose to be here. Our beloved quartermaster sent me to freeze my arse off. He said as punishment for spitting on the good name of the keepers, whatever the hell that means. I just got drunk in the tavern and lost half my pay, and maybe some of my clothes. But I mean, why would he even care? It was my gold. I can spend it how I please. Oh, aye, I need a warm coat, and I mean the absolute warmest coat you can get, huh? Osprey might have something in stock or know how to make one. I'd ask myself, but he's not exactly speaking with me these days. Stupid. That's what I was. I may or may not have commented on our blacksmith's skill. I gave him a blade to sharpen, and when I got it back, it was still dull. Osprey swore he did his job properly. I said he's getting old. And so on and so forth, until it turned out that my mate had played a trick on me, swapped my sword with another one that was as dull as a stump. I tried to make amends with Osprey, but the old man's pride is as stiff as his steel. Can't say I blame him. Now, here I am, frozen to the bone and in need of a hand. You got one to spare? Thanks, friend. I knew I could count on you.